Hi everybody, welcome to this class. In this class we will discuss about variable in Java. What is a variable? A variable is a named memory location that holds a data value of a particular data type whose value is manipulated during program run. We can understand this with the help of this diagram. These are the memory locations and it is one memory location which name is A. So A is variable. As we discuss here, a variable is a named memory location. So this memory location name is A. So it is a variable that holds a data value. It is holding a data value of a particular type. This value is of integer type because it is complete number. Whose value is manipulated during program and run means when we'll use this variable in program, this value will utilize by that program. So it is known as variable. It is a combination of vary plus able. That means its value can vary, change. Due to this reason it is called as variable. Means we can change a value. We can look here, I convert its value from 10 to 20, so its value become 20 now. So its value can change, that's why it is known as variable. Variable are typically used to store information which your program needs to do its job. Programs variable are used to store all those data or all those values that we need in program. We can look here, string is we are using name is a string variable, we are using it for store name. Salary we are using to store salary, and float commission we are using to store commission, and this variable bonus we are using to store bonus value. Variable is the basic unit of storage in program. All variables are used basically store information. That's why we can say variable is the basic unit of storage. There is no any other source through which we can store values in program. Only variables are used to store values. Now syntax of variable. So first of all we have to write data type, means which type of variable we will declare, and after that we give name of variable and end by the semicolon so that end of statement can indicate. And if we want to declare multiple variable, for this we will type data type, we will write data type once and variable name one by one with the help of comma separators, and at last we will apply semicolon. Example, string name and string name address designation are multiple variable declaration. A salary commission is also multiple variable declaration. These are the data types and these are the variable names. Initialization is the process through which we can initialize some values to the variable. Like name, we are initializing with the name, and in case of age we are initializing an age. Here we are initializing salary and commission. We can do declaration and initialization simultaneously together. We can look here, string name. Here we are, it is the variable declaration and it is initialization. Data type, variable name, and constant value that we are initializing to the variable. Same thing is happening here and same thing is here. We can declare multiple variable and initialize multiple variables simultaneously. So in this example, double is the data type to declare three variables, salary, commission, and bonus, and we are initializing values of three variables all together. Now it is also possible, while we are declaring and initializing a variable, we can initialize same value to multiple variable like this. We will declare a equals to b equals to c and 10. It means this 10 will initialize to c, b, and a. All triple values will be declared as abc, means there will be declared three variable abc and they will be initialized by 10 automatically. Initialization is of two types. Initialization that we study here, it is static initialization, means here compiler know what is the memory location, what is the memory size of these variables. Like age is integer type, so its memory size is 4 integer. Salary, if it is long type, so its memory size will be 8 bytes, and commission, if it is double type, its memory size is also 8 bytes. But in dynamic initialization, compiler is not known beforehand what will be the size of variable in memory. We can look here, class. By the help of this syntax, we can declare we can initialize dynamically to a variable. Class is the class name, object is the variable name or object, and new is new is an operator which will initialize memory to this object with the help of this constructor. It is constructor of this class. For example, student is a class, an object is an object of student class. New is an operator to initialize memory to this object, and constructor is also used with the constructor is also used to initialize memory to this. So with the help of this statement, memory will initialize to this object, and its size will be equal to the sum of memory size of all variable present in student class. Suppose student class contain two integer variable, one for integer roll number, second for integer age. So one integer takes 4 bytes. In case of this class there are two integers, so this object size will be 8 byte. So like this, at the time of execution, this program will come to know, this object will come to know what is its memory size. It is known as dynamic initialization. Now we will talk about scope of variable. The program area where a variable is accessible is known as scope of that variable. We can look here. It is a function. We declare a variable inside function, so it is local variable declared inside function. And if we declare variable outside function inside class, then they are of two types, instance variable and global variable. So how we can differentiate them, we can understand in next of this slide. On the basis of scope, variable can be classified into three categories. First is local variable, as I discussed earlier. Variable declared inside a body of method is called local variable. Any variable declared inside method is known as local variable. This variable is accessible only within the method, and the other method in the class cannot use this variable. This variable is not accessible outside this method body, and we cannot use this variable C here as well as after this body here. Means we can use C only inside this block. So that's why it is known as local variable, because accessible inside its method body only. Next is instance variable. A variable declared inside class but outside the body of method is called instance variable. Any variable declared inside class but outside method body is called instance variable. These are created when the objects are created, and therefore they are associated with their objects. These variables are always associated with the object. As soon as we will create an object of this class, its copy will go to that object. They are in scope as long as they are object in scope. They can take different value for each object. We can look it practically. Suppose it is a class and it is a variable A which contain value 10. If we declare 4 variable, object 1, 2, 3 and 4, we can look here, every variable contain a copy of A, that is along with value 10. Now in case we change object 4 change its value by adding 20 in 10 and it's become 30. So we can look here, object 4 value become 30, but rest of the object are unchanged, because this variable is property of each object, and each object can hold different value for this variable, because as soon as object will be created from the class, its copy will go to the object, and object can can change its value according to its way. Other object will not disturb with this change. So this is the property of instance variable. As soon as this object will destroy, its value will also destroy, and its effect will not show on these objects. Now static variable. Variable declared inside class is known as static variable with the help of static keyword. Means both are the variable declared inside class, but this variable declared with the help of static keyword. That's why it is known as static variable or global variable. These belongs to the entire set of objects that class creates, so these are also called as global variable. These static variable are not property of class object. These are the property of class, and any object of the class cannot copy them. If an object of class want to use them, that object will come in class and use and go back. Only one memory location is created for such variable. Memory location for static variable happens only once when the class is loaded in memory. Whenever this class will load or program execution will start, automatically a memory or global memory location will created for this variable B. and all object of the class will share that memory. We can look it practically here. Suppose it is a class and it is a static variable integer a, and we created four object, object 1, 2, 3 and 4. It is object 4. So if one object comes in the class and change its value from 10 to 30 by adding 20 in it, then this change will reflect to all these objects, and whenever any one of these objects will come here to use this, it will not get previous value 10 but will get 30, because global changes are permanent. Any changes made by one object in the class variable or instance static variable will reflect to all objects of the class. It is just opposite to the instance variable. We can look here. As soon as this object change its value 30, its reflection is for all, and all object will receive 30, and its previous value has been changed by object 1. So this is a static variable or global variable. It's not property of any object but property of class, and if any object want to use it, it can use from the location where it is stored, and any changes made by the object in the variable will reflect to all the other object of the class. So this is the concept of static or global variable. In this tutorial I told you the working of variable, what are the variable, how they are stored in memory, how we can use these variable, how we can declare, what is the syntax, and what are the scopes of variable, and what is the difference in their scope. Still then, if there is some problem or if something that you don't understand, you can ask me through comment. And if this video is helpful for you, you can like this video, can share this video with other students, and can subscribe my channel for more videos related to the topics. And if you want to study in detail theoretical concept of all these videos, you can visit my blog. Link of that blog is present in the description of this video. And thanks for watching.